What's up guys, I, Michael, have another video review for you. I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but I'm betting this will be the year's biggest selling game, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So let's get started. Call of Duty has its yearly haters and yearly lovers, so each launch is filled with both emotional extremes. While I don't like annualization, Black Ops 2 continues the trend of a solidly made Call of Duty game that even pushes forward in a few key ways. The original Black Ops had the best story in any Call of Duty game and is one of the best shooter stories overall, and Black Ops 2 tries to continue that success. Woods from the first game is found in a secret retirement home, telling Alex Mason, David Mason's son from the first Black Ops, about Raul Menendez, a terrorist and all-around terrible person. This evil man has been causing trouble for decades, and now in 2025 has something evil up his sleeve, leaving David Mason to follow and halt his evil plans. Oddly enough, the story isn't as interesting as Black Ops 1 was. Black Ops 2 focuses a bit too large on the grander story, one with less interesting doofuses, and loses the player along the way with muddled motives and confusing objectives. I couldn't really pinpoint why exactly Menendez did the things he did, other than yo, he's a bad dude and his sister died or some shit. It's not terrible or anything, but it's just a little inconsistent as it is bookended by its weakest parts, meaning the best parts are in the middle and the most not interesting and confusing stuff happens in the beginning and end. It's enjoyable in an action movie sense, but sitting down and thinking about what actually happened can make it fall apart rather quickly. It's a shame too, since Black Ops 1 was easy to follow and memorable for those reasons. However, unlike any other Call of Duty game, choices play a big role in Black Ops 2, and this rising tide raises all of the narrative boats. Failing to catch someone or save someone or shooting another person can make the story twist and turn in a few key ways, something the series hasn't done before. Some are even seemingly harmless until you see the ripples hours later. I actually felt like I had an impact on the story, which is unheard of in a Call of Duty game. It's even a little hard to untrain your brain on what has been beaten into us from prior games. You can't really take your time in some areas like you used to, but it's a welcome step in a good direction that I hope the series keeps and expands upon. It adds replay value and coveted discussions with your peers about what ending you got, and let's be honest, we never thought we'd be having different endings in a Call of Duty game, so that's kinda cool. Strike Force missions are one factor that can actually alter your game's story, but it's a pretty lackluster mode that has such dire consequences. You can technically ignore them and you're probably going to push them off as long as you can. For those wanting a quote-unquote better story should probably suffer through them. Suffer is a great word for them too. In Strike Force, you get the option to control multiple robots and soldiers from an aerial view, but the AI is so stupid to the point where it actually seems like you're a one-man army against terrible odds. Every one of these missions is really hard right up until the end, which leads to really sudden victories that you almost didn't feel like you deserved. While it's good that I didn't fail, these missions felt undeserved and designed to lessen the frustration at the last second for a victory. If these missions weren't so important to the story, I would have easily avoided them due to their shoddy quality. As usual, the shooting is fantastic. You know the feel by now, and you probably love the buttery smoothness that comes with every action, and Black Ops 2 holds up to that legacy very well. This impressive shooter skeleton is placed within the future, which allows for creative freedom and subsequently a fresh feel. Weapons aren't really new per se, but their new names and look make them feel and look new enough to the point where it doesn't feel like an old retread of the AK-47 or SCAR, even though technically they're kind of just the same gun. An automatic gun is always going to feel like an automatic gun. The robotics given to the player and motherfucking spider gloves and jetpacks and other featurey stuff is something I loved seeing and kind of freshened up the whole game because of it, and I hope the series picks this up and runs with it. Modern Warfare just seems pretty ancient in comparison. Online has gotten a lot of care, and you probably already know whether you like it or not. Walking more than 15 paces without seeing someone is rare and keeps the action at an all-time high. However, the biggest change and stuff people should be thinking about the most is the Pick 10 system, which deserves the most props because it allows for a wide variety of player choice. Everything you can think of in your loadout, except kill streaks, has a point value. As long as you have at most 10 points slotted, since everything has a point value, you can make almost any combination to suit your playstyle. Choosing no secondary weapon or grenade can allow for more perks, or you can slot up on your main weapon, or you can have more perks and no weapons. It's all up to you. The game gives you the tools to craft your own class, and it's a fantastic change. It made me feel like I was in charge of my loadout on the battlefield. In other multiplayer news, Zombies has also gone under minor improvements. You still survive against the zombies, with your friends and accrue points to hold out as long as possible, but the new transit system is something zombies haven't seen before. A bus will show up and allow somewhat safe passage to a different map. seamlessly, of course. There's no loading, which is kind of cool. While these maps are smaller than normal, the small touch of seamlessly traveling brings something new to one of the best co-op experiences out there. It's still similar enough to where if you didn't like it before, you won't like it now, but it's so damn good that I don't really get how that could happen. And that's kind of the sentiment for the whole game, I guess. If you never liked Call of Duty and, actually played them, you're probably not going to like this one either. However, everyone else will be pleased in one way or another, given the tweaks Treyarch has taken with Black Ops 2. While I was a bit disappointed with the story, the choices and future setting are two aspects I want to see expanded upon, and given the solid base of the franchise has established, it shouldn't be too difficult to go on that. Black Ops 2 is a good start to the future setting. I hope we see more of it. I kind of don't want to go back to Modern Warfare after this, because I feel like they've kind of refreshed themselves and given them more opportunities for being fresh. So I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. I think people should still play it. It's not the best shooter on the market to me, but still pretty damn good. So not really any rational reason to hate it, but whatever. So thanks guys, and I will see you some other time, I guess. I don't know. Bye.